Yes. You know, the suicide rate, as I've said, is climbing worldwide. Mental illness. And you can argue that there are people that are committing suicide without knowing it. Let me ask you something. There are four things, components, which probably you don't even understand. And I'm asking you this, and you will think carefully. Can you live without these things? Money, family, sex, and last but not least, can you live without putting yourself before God? Now, it left to your answer for these questions. Because if you cannot live without these four things, you're in trouble. You're in a lot of trouble. And the very reason the Bible told us to leave the world, it is to depend directly on God to survive, and not on men. Because your faith can only increase in God when you depend more on God to survive and less on men to survive. So you get your faith up. A man divorcing wife and him go remarry. But what happened? Him committing adultery. Because the Bible is clear. He now would be living in sin. Because the wife that he divorced is still alive. He is not a widow. So why would he, how can him justify himself remarry? But what he will tell you is that boy can't live without sex. And because of this, he go and remarry. What he's not telling you is that he have put himself before the word of God. And it comes back now to the fourth question I have. Can you live your life putting God before yourself? So right away you're falling on the trap. Because many people discuss King Solomon and people fail to understand. And some have been disingenuous. King Solomon failed and died in his sin. Oh yes. This man was the wisest man that have ever lived under the sun. That has ever lived. And King Solomon turned an embarrassment to God. Why? He went after sex and women. He had 700 wives, 300 concubines. What happened here? God told King Solomon not to get involved with no woman who did not believe in his doctrine. In the doctrine of the true and living God. In his religious belief. But God fell on deaf ears. King Solomon went after his heart. What happened? So he married two women who come from foreign countries, several of them, with their own religious belief, their own different denomination. He went after them. And he paid with his soul. Because King Solomon felt he was looking on getting laid, having sex, and this adrenaline rush, the pleasure he gets from sex, and not looking on how that he will lose his soul. Build graven image to provoke God to wrath, and worship graven image several times over. Done all of this in Israel. Tell you, when some hypocrites and parasites talk about King Solomon, oh, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. They don't tell you that King Solomon's soul is at the gates of hell now. No, they're not telling you that part. That's where it is. And what could be more embarrassing than a man who had gained so much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from God have allowed so many women that were not nowhere near his level of intelligence to deceive them because he wanted to be laid. And it comes back to you putting yourself above God. Because it's funny, you know. The only way you can avoid sinning is by putting God above yourself. Or you didn't understand that. That is why it is important, you know. Because once you put yourself above God, you must sin. And you will continue to sin. Because you are going to say you first and God second. You see the four things I name out? Sex, money, family. Many people lose them soul because of family. Mislead them down the wrong path. They put family before God business. Wrong path again. And sex, to them, make them drunk. Like a drunken man. So once them get the opportunity to go sleep with a woman as beautiful as Lisa Hanna or Yende Phillips, oh my God. Them throw the Bible through the window a long time. Them gone head on. Them diving. Them no business about God after that. Them get the opportunity to make us say, go rob some money. But what them are going to rob are going to make them rich. They no business about God. Them go rob the money. Because they have put all of these things before the word of God. And if you claim you're ready for God and you're serious about God, you have to sit down, break up your folly grounds, and these are the four components you have to make a decision over. Because it cannot be that you can put any of these things that I've named above God. Because you would be wasting your time. So when the Bible asks if you're ready to drink from this cup, you know what this is? This is serious warring. This is the battle for your soul under the sun. That is what it is. You think God have no respect for how much degree you obtain in universities? You're a Rhodes Scholar. God have no respect for that. He never sent you here for that. Him send you here to fear him. What is the duty of man? Fear God. Keep his commandments is the whole duty of man. Once you can obey that duty, you don't mean shit to God. Because what you're doing is putting yourself or your family business before God. And some would even say your country. You're not here to do that. You do somebody else's work. Or God work first. Everything else after. You work, you get up and you work for man. And you're dead tomorrow. Regardless of how you die. Whether them kill you or you're sick and die or etc. You will be forgotten. The party's still going on. It's still the same status quo. Same status quo. Waiting change. No full stop. They care about you. With or without you, the party will still be going on. Who care about you is God. Then if people come into your funeral after you're dead talking good of you, that can't help you. That can't help your soul. It cannot help your soul. So your duty while you are here is doing everything in your power to forge a relationship with Christ. You think you're there to become celebrity and become famous and looking ratings from people. People giving you ratings can't help you. maybe help you monetary wise, but how they help your soul. Your duty is not to be connected to this world. Your duty is to get disconnected from the world. And the Bible explicitly, God speaking, told us to leave the world. Why? Because the earth you live on, it is given into the hands of the devil. It is the devil agents that run in the proceedings under the sun. And if you don't know that, I don't know what the hell you know. What you think you have all this man? It's man philosophy and the devil philosophy around earth, you know. So you have to understand that God philosophy not running earth. It's man philosophy and man don't represent God on earth. Man should be representing God, but man represents the devil. That's why the Bible said that you are of your father. And the Bible explained that it means the devil. So you have a big decision to make. Now come tell me you have a degree and you're a student. That don't mean shit to me, and it certainly don't mean shit to God. So do what you have to do and break up your family ground while you are here. Because me on my way out, and I never get comfortable in this world at no time. Hard boy, who want to live to 100. Me? In a Satan world? It's not a blessing to live. It's more like a curse to live to get old, you know. So they come to me and come tell me about, oh, live to 100 years old. No, Anna. Because of the devil world is a Satan world. Not fighting to stay alive in this world. Fighting to live. Some people, you may get cancer, and then you spend millions to try to stay alive. Me do have the millions, me take it and give poor people and say, boy, my time coming up, when it come, God. But me a fight for stay in a Satan world for. You see it as some blessing, I see that as a damn curse. No, man. You know, Bible told us about a lot of things. Look on the mindset of the children. You have seen it first. I don't have to relate it to you. You see how we live amongst each other. You see the divisiveness. We're putting little or no value on each other's life. So the Bible continue to fulfill. Continue. You see it every day. You don't need even me to preach it from a platform telling you. You see it every day with the naked eye. And how you live. And how people live. You see it. What are you doing about it as an individual? What you doing about it for yourself as an individual? That is what must be debated. Because it go right back to mental issues, mental illness. A man who commit suicide, no one do even know. You think it's a man who just go put a rope around him neck and jump from a tree committing suicide? You think it's a man who put a gun at him head and pull the trigger alone committing suicide? You think it's a man who go drink some poison alone committing suicide? No. Once you are against God, way of life, you're literally fighting against God. That is committing suicide as well. Think. So don't get the misconception, say, boy, it's only the man who put a gun on him head or go drink some poison or hang himself from a tree, committing suicide. You also committing suicide once you are not working. You are not willing to live how God required that we should live under this earth. Make no mistake about that. So, These are the issues affecting you. And we talk about the high percentage of suicide rate in America, of all places. In universities, especially North Carolina. And the rate gone through the roof. Low self-esteem. Students not convinced they can make it academically. You have students with issues where just need some counseling. But the ratio to student to counselor is, the disparity is very wide. Like 500 to 1. So before they can get help, they commit suicide. They don't know who they can trust to consult to deal with their personal issues. And it reach a level which they can't contain it anymore. So they just explore just like a bomb. People of all walks of life commit suicide. Rich, the middle class, and yes, the poor. I'd you be say about our rich man who did believe Whitney Houston would have committed suicide? Who would believe Whitney Houston, one and only daughter, child, would have committed suicide? And I can name several other rich people that live and die. Famous, rich, and they kill themselves. Mental illness is no joke. It is widespread. And one of the things, is that a lot of people who suffer from mental illness, they are vulnerable in such a way that they don't trust the circle that they are in. They really trust people. So they not just go confine in you and talk to you. It doesn't work like that. Because they fear you go carry them name. So when it come on to trust, it's hard for them to trust people. Very hard. So they are not going to really relate their problems. Many a times they battle it up to themselves. And the next thing, Jerry gone. Just like that. And you never see it coming because they pretend that they are alright. And they are anything but. They are certainly not alright. And it's another reason why you need God. Because if you live in to get rich, it's because you're with the world, Why you want to get rich? You want to get rich because your heart desires it. And you want to live a certain lifestyle. And you are giving in to your heart desire that your heart crave the things of the world and to live a certain lifestyle. Did you ever observe how Christ lived while he was under the sun? He lived a very poor life. It's funny, his disciples, him tell them don't travel with no food. You don't need to travel with no change of garments. You don't need to travel with no money. You just go and me will take care of you. Do what me tell you to do, and me take care of you. So their sole dependence to survive was always on God. And that is faith again. Because you want to know how you make your faith get stronger. Your faith can't get stronger in God by becoming rich. No, it only will get weaker. Because not before long you are depending on money to survive instead of the word of God. And you don't even see it when it happens. And it just happens like that. And that is the very reason God is going to make it far more difficult for a rich man to enter his kingdom. Easier for a camel to go through the eye of an eagle than a rich man to enter his kingdom. You have work to do if you're serious. Because to be serious about God, it's a lot of work. A lot of work to do. You're going to have to give up the world. Many of you are poor and you're ashamed, you're embarrassed. To be poor, no, you should not be. But because of how you were brought up in society, you think it is a crime to be poor. You think it is a curse to be poor. You're ashamed to be poor. Why are you ashamed to be poor? Why are you embarrassed to be poor? And why are you doing everything within your power to get rich? You think that game make God love you more? No. You getting rich will only drift you away from God. And drift God away from you. Getting rich is not a blessing, it's a curse. You don't know that yet? You may find out when it is too late. It's not a blessing. It's really a curse. Because what you effectively done is set up yourself to be God's enemy. Without even understanding what the Bible is saying. That's what you're setting up yourself for, to be God's enemy. How you gain wealth? Did you gain it fairly? Or did you gain it through illicit means? Because 9 out of 10 persons who gain wealth have gained it through illicit means. By breaking God's laws and statutes. And once you gain that wealth, and wealth that way, it's better, brother. It would be better you never even born. Because you gain sorry, you gain wealth that way. You have to gain it fairly. If God wants to make you rich, He make you rich. But He's not going to make you rich by you breaking His laws and statutes. Don't forget that. Everything has to be done above board. It comes in like you're talking about Job. Remember, Job was a rich man, but a very faithful man to God. So there you go. But, cut that.